Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Nick Kelbley, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're ranking the season 16 lip syncs, which was so much harder than I expected. This was a great lip sync season with so many iconic performances, so I'm sure we'll disagree on a few of these, and it should be interesting. Alright, and if you've never seen one of my lip sync videos before, I do it tier style, so S is obviously the best of the best, the iconic performances, and we go down from A to B to C, and then I put an extra category called Dawn and Body, because these are the lip syncs that I want to Thanos snap out of my brain and forget about, just like Morphine did to Dawn in the body lip sync, which we will get to. But first, starting with episode 1, we have Saphira versus Q to Break My Soul, and this is a great performance from Saphira that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. I mean, yeah, Saphira's breastplate and tiny boobs were flopping everywhere, but she played with it and made it a moment, like a great performer does. When I saw this performance from Saphira, I knew she'd be a force when it came to lip syncing throughout the entire season, and well, she was. Q was also kind of there, flaring her arms around, doing the classic Q style of lip sync, unfortunately. But yeah, this lip sync is the Saphira show. Having said that, I think there are many better lip syncs this season, so I'll put this in the A tier for now, but it'll probably move down as we go through the video. Up next, we have Plane versus Geneva, and this is another lip sync that I think is lost in the shuffle when talking about this season. In my opinion, it's an okay lip sync. I mean, Plane looks hot, and she plays up the camp factor, so I think she actually did pretty well. Geneva was just fine. I mean, she wasn't bad, but her performance wasn't memorable. And once again, the boob steals the show, with Plane's boob being out half the time. It's weird that when I think about the season 16 premiere lip syncs, the main thing I think about are the boob malfunctions, and it happening 2 episodes in a row is wild now that I think back on it. But anyways, this lip sync is gonna be put in the B tier. It's not offensive, it's just not that memorable for me. Up next, we have Geneva versus Hershey, and this lip sync is actually pretty good. This is just a really good lip sync season. Geneva slayed this lip sync. I love the attitude from both of them, and they both match the energy pretty well. But I was just so distracted by Hershey's jeans the entire time. Like, I still can't get over the fact that she wore jeans on the main stage. I know it was a design challenge, but it's still crazy. Similar to the last lip sync, this is a very safe B tier. It's good, it's just not memorable or special. Unfortunately, we had to talk about this one. Mirage versus Geneva, and this one is tough. I mean, Mirage obviously doesn't know the words, which I believe she admitted on camera and untucked, which is never a good idea, just from a production standpoint. There is an alternate universe where Mirage knows the lyrics to the song and possibly makes it to the final 4, at least in my French vanilla fantasy. But yeah, this lip sync is kind of just a tough watch now. Even though I will say, Mirage was serving it with the spins and the heel clocking, but at the end of the day, it is a lip sync and you do have to know the words. That's kind of like the main thing. Geneva did well again, but I don't know, her lip sync style is very safe. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, she ticks all the boxes, it's just eh. I feel like this lip sync unfortunately has to be in Dawn and Body, because it's kind of traumatizing to watch now, and I kind of just want to forget about it. But Mirage's All-Star run is going to be fierce, and she's booked and busy, so everything turned out okay for her. Also, I know I said this was a really good lip sync season, but we're off to a rough start, I will say, but it gets better, I promise. But it doesn't get better until after this lip sync. Up next is Amanda versus Q, and I just have to address the elephant in the room first off, and that being Amanda's outfit. I mean, she's wearing a golden boot-worthy look, so it's hard to take her seriously in this lip sync. I mean, neither of them served that hard, but I think Amanda's performance was brought down a lot simply by what she was wearing. She was kind of clunky and awkward in this lip sync, but she's not the best performer, so it was kind of expected from her. Overall, this lip sync was kind of a mess, so it just has to be the first one in the C tier. Up next is Maya versus Geneva, and this is the debut of the Queen of Flips, and she showed out. As Dawn said, she was flipping and stunning all over that stage, and it was fierce. Geneva gets pretty overshadowed here. She gives another safe performance, and she was unfortunate enough to run into Maya and become her first victim. Although, spoiler alert, I actually don't think this is Maya's best performance, so I'm gonna put it in the A tier for now. Up next is Maya versus Megami, and this is a very controversial one, because on one hand we have Maya, who straight up just takes off her shoes in the middle of the lip sync, which, like Dawn said in the episode, is like a drag race cardinal sin. I know I'm quoting Dawn a lot, but she just has a lot of great confessionals. So if we're going based off of that, then Megami should have won this lip sync by default. However, the problem is that Megami wasn't really doing much to win the lip sync herself. I understand she was trying to serve emotion, but she gave a pretty generic performance, and it was hard to take my eyes off of what Maya was doing the whole time, despite her not having any shoes on. So even though she was barefoot, I mean, Maya was serving it pretty hard. Honestly, I would have also given the win to her too. Still, I do have to knock this lip sync down a peg just because it is really messy. So it's gonna go in the low B tier. The next lip sync on the list is Morphine versus Tsunami, and this is a beautiful lip sync. Just like Maya last episode, Morphine begins her run as a lip sync assassin, and she shows out. Getting face, she's giving tricks, she's giving us dance. She really ate with this one. I'll also give credit to Tsunami here. She did pretty well, and these two had really good chemistry on stage together. Also, their kiss in the lip sync walked, so that Lydia and Corey's kiss into Kiss Me Deadly could run. Overall, this is a great song, a great lip sync, and I think it deserves to be in the A tier. Next up is Maya versus Plasma to Bloody Mary, and this is easily one of the most chaotic lip syncs I've ever seen, and I live for it. First off, we have the Chipmunks version of the song, which is such an odd choice. I mean, I know it was a TikTok trend, but what? Then we have Plasma dressed up as like a crazy Cher, and Maya doing a wig reveal into a beanie. And then we have Maya over here pulling out every move in the book, including backflips in a gown. I mean, like, so much is happening that I feel like I'm on a trip during this lip sync. But as chaotic as this is, I can't deny that it's extremely entertaining. And at the end of the day, that's a very important factor when judging a lip sync. Personally, I actually do love this lip sync, so I'm gonna put it in the S tier. I know some of you might not agree with this one, even though I know a lot of people live for this one, but still. If you disagree, just let me know in the comments and we can talk it out. Next up on the list is Morphine vs. Saphira to Made You Look by Meghan Trainor. And this lip sync is very meh, not because of Morphine or Saphira, but because of the song choice. This is a very low energy, like kind of boppy song, so there's really not much they could do with it. Having said that, I think Saphira did what she could and she did pretty well. And they both looked amazing, so props for that. But allegedly, Morphine didn't know the words because she was in the top and didn't realize it would be a lip sync for the win and not for your life. This lip sync is not my favorite, so I'm gonna put in the C tier, but like I said, it's mainly because of the song choice here. Up next, we have Maya vs. Morphine, and I love this lip sync because it really has it all. This is where the Miami rivalry storyline concludes. There was a lot of hype going into this lip sync, and I think they lived up to it. They were both pulling out all the tricks and splits, and on top of that, a little physicalness. RuPaul did say that drag is not a contact sport, but they did it in a playful and fun way, so I think that's why they got away with it, and low-key, I loved it. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't living when Maya threw her cape on Morphine and when Morphine threw her move on Maya. I mean, iconic. And I believe Morphine holds the record for the longest split in this lip sync, so extra points for that. This lip sync is everything to me. Maybe not the best this season though, so I'm gonna put it in the high A tier, but it's like on the brink of the S tier for sure. Up next is Morphine vs. Dawn to Body, and this is the lip sync performance of the season from Morphine. This song was made for her, and her outfit just adds to the performance even more. It was kind of a perfect storm for Morphine, and she delivered. Now, poor Dawn was left out for slaughter here. I mean, whoever chose this lip sync song for this episode really wanted Dawn gone. To be fair, I think Morphine would have won against Dawn to pretty much any song, but it did not have to be this bad. This was Morphine's moment and probably the highlight of the season for her besides maybe the Lollapalooza, and this lip sync is going right into the S tier as expected. In fact, for now I'm going to put it as number 1, but we'll see if that changes later down the road. Next on the list is Morphine vs. Saphira Part 2, and once again the song choice is, well, a choice. It's weird that this happened twice with Morphine and Saphira. I mean, like in reality, they're both great lip syncers, so in theory these lip syncs between them should be iconic. Or at least a little better than this. But the frustrating part is that it's not either of their faults. I mean, they both do pretty well to this song, but it's still just such a mad lip sync. Also, there was no way they were sending Saphira home here regardless, so there's basically no tension leading up to this lip sync. So for these reasons, I'm gonna put this in the low B tier because Morphine seemed to know the words better this time, and it's not egregious, it's just not memorable. And the final lip sync we need to get to before the Lollapalooza is Plain vs. Q. And this is a pretty decent lip sync in my opinion. I enjoy Plain's performance in this lip sync in particular because I think she embodies the energy of the song really well. For Q, I think that she wasn't quite as bad in this lip sync, but it still wasn't great. That's just not her strength, and that's okay. Thinking back, they could have done a double Shantae here and had Q move on to the final 4 along with Plain. I mean, Plain definitely won this lip sync, but it wasn't like a murder. Still, they did Q so dirty here, and that's all I can think about when I watch this lip sync. Still, it's a decent lip sync, and I think it deserves its spot in the B tier. Next on the list is Amanda vs. Dawn, and I really love this performance from Amanda, and this lip sync is probably the highlight of the season for her. She looks amazing, she showed that she can serve sex, and overall just slayed the song. And Dawn, I mean, poor Dawn. Similar to Q, this just isn't her strength, but she tries her best. This isn't as bad as Body, but Amanda still bodied her. I should have taken that out of the script, but it's too late, staying in. Anyways, justice for Amanda, and I'm putting this in the B tier. Up next, we have Megami vs. Q, and Megami really surprised me during this lip sync. I mean, coming into the Lollapalooza, I don't think a lot of people expected her to slay as hard as she did, but she comes to this lip sync and proves from the start that she's a force to be reckoned with. She serves the emotion of the song perfectly. Q does her thing. I've harped on Q enough this video, so I'll just say she did about as well as expected here. On the flip side, Megami exceeded expectations, and I love her performance to this song. However, as we will soon find out, Megami was just giving us a taste of what was to come later in the Lollapalooza. So I'll put this one in the high B tier and leave it there for now. Up next, we have Morphine vs. Geneva, and this lip sync was incredible. This song allows both of them to show off their strengths. I mean, they both had reveals, tricks, good energy, and the girls were going at it. I don't think I'll ever get over Morphine's nail move. Like, that move is so iconic. They both look amazing. I mean, the only critique I can say is that maybe Geneva's outfit reveal was a little too early, and Morphine's wig reveal wasn't the smoothest, but I don't even care because they both tore the stage up. This surprisingly ended up being one of my favorite lip syncs of the Lollapalooza and the season in general, so this is going into the S tier. Up next, we have Mirage vs. Hershey, and I just have to say, I'm so glad that this lip sync happened. That might sound like a weird statement at first, but both of them desperately needed this redemption, and I think this was a great lip sync where they both got to showcase their performance styles pretty well. Thankfully, Mirage knows the lyrics this time, and to a wordy song too, so props to her on that. I was so scared for her coming into this, but thankfully she slayed. Hershey did her thing too, but Mirage was the clear standout of this lip sync, and she gave a great performance, and for that, I'm putting this in the A tier. Next on the list is Maya versus Plasma versus Tsunami, and this is the only three-way lip sync of the season. These three put on completely different performances. I mean, on one hand, you have Maya doing her usual thing, being the queen of flips and whatnot. Then you have Plasma low-key serving puss. I mean, this reminds me of Susie in Training Season from season 17. But the problem with Plasma is that as she reveals into this horrible wig, it totally kills the sexy vibe she was serving. And then we have Tsunami, and she's kind of just there vibing, and I'm living for that. This is another very chaotic lip sync that I personally like, and so I'm gonna put this in the B tier. I think that's a safe spot for this lip sync. Next on the list is Megami versus Amanda, and this was a solid lip sync, and Megami was giving Cher perfectly in this song. Amanda tried to keep up, but this was really the Megami show. Her iconic hand move, let's just call it, was so unhinged, and it worked perfectly. This lip sync really showed off Megami's camp side very well, and she definitely deserved this win. However, it's not my favorite Megami lip sync, so I'm just gonna put it in the B tier, but the high B tier. Up next, we have Morton versus Mirage, and this might actually be the closest lip sync of the season. They were both serving equally hard in my opinion, so this lip sync gets bonus points for me because I think when a lip sync is competitive, it enhances both of their performances. But I will say I'm glad these two got to lip sync to a more sensual and emotional song. Of course, it would have been fun to see these two go at it to a high energy pop song, but I think they both gave very dynamic performances here. Every time I watch this lip sync, it goes up on the list, and frankly, I don't think this lip sync gets enough credit, so I'm gonna put it in the S tier and give it the credit it deserves. Up next on the list is Megami versus Maya, and Megami really wanted this rematch after she thought she won the Flowers lip sync, and she made the most of that opportunity. Maya was doing her usual splits and tricks, which is always impressive, and we live for, but Megami pulls an Uno reverse card on her and predicts her split without even looking at her. Like, that's such a bad bitch move. After that moment, I mean, it was pretty much over for her. But this is another great performance from both of them, and I'm putting this straight into the A tier. It's a great performance. Up next, we have Megami versus Morphine, and this was a great lip sync to conclude a great Lollapalooza. The song choice is high energy, and they both leave it all on stage. Morphine deserves the win here, but shout out to Megami, who also gave a great performance and gave Morphine a run for her money. Quite literally, because there was 50K on the line. Megami literally had an all-stars type of redemption in this episode alone, and it's still amazing to watch even looking back now. However, Morphine's BBL definitely paid off for her, and she leaves us with one last amazing performance, which is going straight to the S tier. Just below the others, but I mean, the whole S tier is very close, I'll just say that. And lastly, we have the lip sync for the crown, which is Saphira versus Nymphia. And this was the first time we ever saw Nymphia lip sync all season, and it turns out she had an ace up her sleeve this whole time. She's an amazing performer, and this performance from her was just a gag after gag after gag. I mean, the balloon reveal, the cartwheel into an outfit reveal, serving pop girl realness to finish it off. I mean, this was so iconic. Saphira did well too, but just got outshined by Nymphia here, unfortunately, at the very last minute. Plus, her vampire teeth were kind of odd. I mean, I might have missed a reference here, so let me know in the comments if I did, but it felt very random. This lip sync is one of the best of the season, and in fact, I think I'm gonna put it at number 1. It was so close between this and Body, between 1 and 2, and I can completely understand if you think Body should be number 1. And that'll conclude the lip sync tier list. This is the final ranking, and if you guys disagree, like I said, we can fight about it in the comments respectfully. And yeah, that'll do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, please go like and subscribe down below. That would really help me out a lot. And if you made it this far in the video, first of all, you're a real one, and I love you. All right, and I'll see you guys very soon with a new video. Peace.